gentleman is his wife, Mary Kay, is actually the one that's related to me. We are cousins.
All right.
That's right. And Rick just came along. But we enjoy him coming along. But Mary Kay and I are cousins, and Mary Kay is a wonderful, wonderful friend and support to me through motherhood and all kinds of things with our families.
What are you doing with OSU now?
I am doing several things with OSU right now. I teach at Oregon State. I teach in the health and human sciences to teach physical activity courses. I teach gymnastics courses and a couple other fitness classes, body sculpting, and things like that. And then I serve for the athletic department as their floor manager for their home meets.
Well, it's time. Stand up with me.
Okay.
Mary Ayotte Law, you are now an official member of the State of Oregon Sports Hall of Fame. For you. That's great. You're welcome. It's a unique event where superior coordination, strength, and speed combined with physics. Those successful with the mechanics go far. And in Oregon is lucky to call this unique international champion one of our own. He was drawn to the tradition and the mystique of Eugene, Oregon and Hayward Field, the American shrine of track and field. Lance Deal has made Oregon his home and brought the spotlight of the world upon himself in one of the most unique and difficult field events, the hammer throw. Over a 13-year post-collegiate career, Deal became the greatest American hammer thrower ever. He made 4 Olympic appearances, won silver medals at 4 different international meets, including the 1996 Olympic Games in Atlanta, the year that Lance was ranked #1 in the world. At home, Deal won 21 national championships in the hammer and 35-pound weight throw, the indoor equivalent. Lance Deal was a freshman at Montana State University in 1984 when he gave notice of future greatness, throwing the discus 202 feet. After an outstanding shot and disc career for the Bobcats, Deal moved to Eugene to train under coaching legend Stuart Toger. The hammer throw was a difficult choice as a specialty. The event had long been dominated by foreigners, way off the radar in the U.S. Lance isn't the biggest or the strongest man to ever compete, but his record of success is unparalleled. And like any great athlete, he finished strong. 1 year after retiring, Lance returned to win one last national championship in the hammer. Today, Deal is putting his mark on the future of throws in the United States, coaching shot, discus, and hammer at the University of Oregon. 7 of Lance Deal's Duck athletes advanced to the NCAA postseason. Lance Deal, living legend, still creating a legacy. All right, have a seat, Lance. It's a pleasure to speak with you, and congratulations.
Thank you.
What is that mystique of Hayward Field down there in Eugene to you?
Boy, that's a good question. After being in Eugene for, 22 years?
Yeah.
The place grows on you. The reason that I came here was the man sitting out there, Stuart Toger. He, at the time, had coached a thrower in every Olympics since, I think, 1976, and has continued that string all the way up through 2004. Then once you get there, you know, you meet somebody like my wife, Nancy, and my smoking hot wife, Nancy.
All right.
And as I say, I just, you know, I came from Wyoming, and I got stuck in the mud. I just love it here.
What was it about the hammer throw? Other sports, and you could have played other sports, but what was it about the hammer throw?
Well, that's a really good question. It's not really about the hammer throw. It's about some of my competitors in the discus, one of whom is, again, sitting at my table, Mac Wilkins. My opinion, one of the greatest athletes in the room. Four-time Olympian. I think he's got a gold and 2 silvers, perhaps. World record in the discus. I actually almost beat him once in the discus. I lost to him by about 6 feet at Hayward Field my junior year in college. I think it was about maybe a week into his comeback for the 84 team. And, you know, as a senior in college, after training for 8 years in the discus, I was 27th in the country. And at the same time, I'd been training on a piece of plywood and a hammer. I was 27th in the country. Kind of looked at the balance scales and said, maybe I'm a hammer thrower. Hooked up with Stuart Toger, and kind of the rest is what you saw up there.
21 national championships in the hammer, 35-pound weight, the indoor equivalent. Explain the difference there.
The 35-pound weight's a lot heavier.
I understand. That's very simple. Okay.
And it doesn't go as far.
No, it doesn't go as far. Montana State to Eugene.
Yeah. My head coach, his name is Rob Stark. He's still around up there in Bozeman. He's not afraid to talk to anybody. He saw Stuart at the national championships once back when I was a fledgling left-handed discus thrower, and said, hey, I've got this kid, maybe wants to learn the hammer. Can he come out and visit you? And Stuart said, well, yeah, sure. Can sleep on the couch in the weight room if he has to. And I took advantage of that, and it's the best thing I ever did.
Did you study at all any of the foreigners that really started the hammer throw?
Yeah, Stuart and I studied a lot of people. Stuart mostly. I just kind of did what he said. And as I said, he coached many of the foreigners and was very instrumental in actually changing the hammer into the modern technique that we see today that allows it to go 270, 280 feet.
And you're sure doing basically the same things with the young folks down at the University of Oregon, are you not?
I hope so. I hope I can pass on the tradition of all these great coaches. And that leads me to one question.
Sure.
Is there really anybody in this room that hasn't been coached by Joe? I mean, Todd had. That's the other great part of being part of this group is not only they're tremendous athletes, but some great coaches that maybe someday I'll be able to measure up in that arena as well.
What has sport taught you in life?
Oh, that's a good question. Just about everything. I think that one of the things I'm most proud of as an athlete is that I was able to stay at a high level for a very long time. And all that takes is perseverance and being grounded and having great support and being well-rounded and not just win at all costs. Having a life and having an avocation like sport.
Well, it's time. It's time, Lance. This guy's quite a guy, ladies and gentlemen. Lance Steele, you are now an official member of the State of Oregon Sports Hall of Fame. You're welcome. Thank you. God bless you. First a player, then a coach, then an administrator. For some, it's a desired career path, but to be able to stay at the same place throughout those stages of life means that you are truly blessed. No one deserves the title Mr. Pilot more than longtime baseball coach and athletic director Joe Etzel. When he retired from the top job in the University of Portland Athletic Department in 2004, Etzel was the longest tenured athletic director in college sports. But Joe's tenure on the Bluff as athlete, coach, and administrator stretches even further, over 5 decades. And during that time, he saw Pilot athletics grow and change from new sports and facilities to national championships. He started as a 2-sport athlete, playing basketball as well as baseball in the late 50s. Etzel's name is still all over the record books as a pitcher, including highest career win percentage and second lowest career ERA. Joe took over coaching the Pilot program in 1966 and began a 21-year career of excellence. 378 victories make him the winningest coach in UP history. Etzel coached 34 athletes who went on to pro careers, including major leaguers like Ken Daly, Tom Lampkin, and Bill Kruger. When Joe Etzel stepped off the field and focused his attention on administration, he didn't miss a beat. Joe oversaw construction of new facilities, the Childs Center for Basketball, Louisiana Pacific Tennis Center, Harry Marlowe Field for soccer, and a baseball stadium that would eventually bear his name. Etzel expanded the athletic department, adding 12 new sports. His hiring of Clive Charles gave birth to men's and women's soccer programs that have brought home 2 national championships. The Etzel family's purple pride runs deep. Joe, his wife Judy, and their 4 children are all UP graduates, and Joe still is a booster and fundraiser for the school. He also continues to be very active in baseball, attending games, instructing at clinics, and coaching young players of all ages. Mr. Pilot, Joe Etzel.
My guy. Come on up here, Joe.
Doug. How are you?
Let's take your time. That's okay.
I take my
All
time.
right. I'm in no hurry. Have a seat, Mr. Etzel.
Right, I will.
Coach Etzel, right here, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, they call you Mr. Pilot. When somebody says that to you, what do you think about it?
Very proud.
I guess so.
Yeah. I think it was chronicled up there. I started my career there as a 2-sport athlete, and didn't take long for him to cut me in basketball. But I played 4 years of baseball, went out and coached in high school for 5 years, and came back, and it was my whole life.
What was it about baseball, Joe, that really, really fascinated you?
Well, you look at me, I'm 6'6". I look like a basketball player, but basically I grew up in Slabtown, and everybody in Slabtown played baseball. And we lived by Vaughan Street, and I got started in baseball and had some success, and that was it. I loved the sport and made it my life.
But then all of a sudden, you became an administrator, and look what happened out on the Bluff. You were very instrumental in so many things that happened at that school. That really has got to make you feel very good.
Well, I was fortunate too. I mean, we were a small school. We're still not very big, but we played Division I sports, and I started, there wasn't a whole lot there when I was there when we started, but we had some great presidents that had some vision and great boosters and supporters, and you know, we were primed to have some facilities, and you know, I had some great, when I get credit for building things, I had a lot of other people involved. But we were able to build the Childs Center and Merlot Field and baseball stadium. And so I guess I was there at the right time.
You kept that baseball program going, and when there was some construction needed, the field need grass or whatever you're going to do to make up thing, you and your boys went out and did it yourself, right?
Right. The good old Catholic way. No big budget, but yeah, Jim and Tom are 10 years apart in age, so when one got too old, the other one came along. So guys like Pat, when he was there, players, I instilled in them a lot of pride in our facility. So the players and my sons and myself basically built that place.
I saw those pictures. That's just a wonderful story. And then they named the field Joe Edsall Field. Wow, I was there that night. You had no idea it was going to happen that night, did you?
No, that was a shock. I mean, that was the night when I retired, and what a great honor that is. I can't even express it. I mean, nothing that I ever expected, and it's a tremendous thing for the university to do.
What about some of the kids and the people that have gone on that you have instructed that played for you and worked with you? Can you tell any stories at all?
Well, Pat was up here earlier. He was a great player for us, and signed with San Diego and had a very good career. But one of probably our most famous baseball graduate is Ken Daly. He was selected third in the draft. The year the Strawberry was #1. So that brought a lot of acclaim to our program, gave me a reputation as a pitching coach, and brought a lot of people to the university as pitchers. And I think that's kind of, I built my program on pitching, and Tom Lampkin, everybody knows him, I think, from the Mariners, and Bill Kruger at the Mariners. Those were the guys that got the big names, but there was a lot of other great kids that played baseball for me that have done a lot of things like Pat has.
If you had to pick out one specific event over your career in sports in your life at U of P, what might that be?
Jeez. That was 39 years, Sean's. Holy cow.
I know. You got to remember one or something, or two.
That would be tough. I mean, we had teams go to the NCAA. That was great. The soccer emergence with Clive was terrific, and to win a national championship for a school of our size, and then to come back after I retired and win another one. I mean, that's unbelievable for a school like us. We're a one AAA school to win the national championship, and Oregon State's won 2, and we won 2. Is there any other school, I don't think, in our state that has done that? So it's a heck of a thing.
Very good, very good. All right. You've been retired a couple of years now.
Yeah,
Do you
retired.
still miss it? Would you like to still go into the office? I know you go out to the games and
Right.
you put the uni on upon occasion and so forth.
No, I don't put any uni on.
You don't put the uni on anymore? Thought you did.
They burned it, I think, when I left. But what I miss is coaching, and Pat hit on it right here. I mean, it's a great profession, and that's, even when I was administrator, I missed coaching. But I've told a lot of people that I was proud to call myself a coach. I took the AD's job. Obviously, it meant a little more money for raising 4 kids, and ended up getting out of. I coached along with AD for 16 years, and then I got out of it. But that's the thing I miss most. I mean, I think the message that Pat gave today about coaching, unless you've been a coach, even if you've been a little league coach or whatever, the impact you can have on kids is what's so satisfying. I mean, and wins and losses we all die with those. We all die with those. But when you see what you produced later on, I mean, that's, to me, why I stayed in the profession. And I think this room is full of coaches. And I think they would all say the same thing. So do I miss it? I still get the itch. I mean, I'd love to coach today. Nobody's going to give me a job at 69 years old, but I teased Case wanting to hire me down there as an assistant when he had a job open, but I didn't put my application in. But anyhow, you ask what I miss. I miss being around young people. At the university, it was a great atmosphere, and again, that's what I miss.
Coach, it's time, and you deserve it.
Yeah.
for your determination and all you have done out on the bluff. And for the state of Oregon and for kids everywhere, you are now an official member of the State of Oregon Sports Hall of Fame. Joe Etzel, right here. You go. Way to go, Joe. Over the years, University of Portland women's soccer has become world-renowned, of course, and one of the earliest stars on the bluff worked hard and turned herself into a champion at every level of that sport.
The explosive growth of women's soccer in America over the past dozen years was fueled in large part by Clive Charles University of Portland squads. And no one player rode that arc of success higher than Shannon McMillan. Arriving on the UP campus as a shy freshman in 1992, McMillan would quickly grow into one of the most feared scoring threats in the collegiate ranks, and then on the world stage. Her very first year, Shannon netted 19 goals, most by any freshman in the country. Then she led the entire college world in scoring her sophomore year. In all 4 years on the bluff, McMillan won all West Coast Conference, all regional, and all America honors. The Pilots advanced 4 straight times and made it all the way to 2 College Cup Final Fours. Shannon culminated her senior year winning the Herman Award, given to the top college player in the nation. She was the first Pilot to ever win that award. But that was just Act 1 for Shannon McMillan. In 1996, she led the national team to the historic first ever gold medal in the Atlanta Olympic Games. McMillan was the leading scorer of that talented lineup, 3 goals in 5 matches, including 2 match winners. That Team USA effort laid the groundwork for the dramatic 1999 World Cup champions. McMillan played 13 years for Team USA, including the 2000 Olympics in Australia and the 2003 World Cup. She was voted U.S. Soccer Athlete of the Year in 2002 after scoring 17 goals. Shannon retired from international competition a year ago. She will be recognized forever for her role building greatness at the University of Portland and again for American soccer.
Shannon is now giving back to soccer and coaching down at UCLA, and this being a very busy time of the year for her. But after hearing of her induction, Shannon sent her thoughts on tape.
Thank you for this great honor, and I apologize for not being there in person to receive it. The Oregon Hall of Fame really means a lot to me because I truly believe that my career started the day I stepped foot on the campus at the University of Portland. Clive Charles and his program gave me so many tools to be successful and reach my potential in the game of soccer. Most importantly to me is he helped me grow into a strong, confident person, which has carried over and helped me through so many life lessons. I feel truly honored and privileged by this induction. Thank you very much, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your evening.
Congratulations to Shannon McMillan. Basketball was and is his life. He has dribbled the rock all over the world and always finds his way back to Oregon. Records come and go, but there is only one Pudgy Hunt.
When Kevin Love broke the Oregon High School basketball all-time scoring record this spring, he passed up a name that is a blast from the past and still in the present. Robert Pudgy Hunt ripped the nets for 2,584 points during his high school career at Napa High School. the tiny gym near the northwest tip of Oregon was a chamber of horrors for visiting teams in the late 50s. That's when Hunt and his teammates advanced to 3 straight state tournaments. Pudgy was named All-Tournament 3 straight times and set a single-game record of 45 points that still stands in the Class 2A record books. The Loggers won it all in 1955. Hunt played college ball at Gonzaga and continued his high-scoring ways, averaging 20 points a game in 1962 when he was the Zags team captain. Basketball is a game that has never ended for Pudgy. He won his share of AAU championships playing for Claudia's and the MAC Club. But his legend has grown playing Masters hoops for the East Bank Saloon, the legendary club that has won 10 national championships. Hunt has been named to the All-Tournament team 5 times playing for the East Bank. And when the World Masters Games came to Portland in 1998, Pudgy had the home court advantage. At age 68, Hunt is still firing them up, just back from the World Masters Games in Canada. Have it up here. Oh! Sit down here.
They all come from the East Bank Saloon?
They sure did.
Whoa, boy. Hey, congratulate. Where did Pudgy come from? What Pudgy?
When I was 9 months old, I weighed 39 pounds.
Whoa. No kidding.
My brother Tubby is in the audience.
Well, what do you think of all of this after all this time?
I think it's just great. I mean, I'm a little nervous being here with all these famous athletes, but it's great.
Napa High School, what was it like back then?
It was great. I mean, athletics was everything there. I played 4 sports. Played basketball, track, baseball, football. Basketball was just one of them.
When Kevin Love broke your record after all those years, I guess you went on year after year after year, you're looking at this kid's going to do this, he's getting close, and he doesn't, and it was never broken until last year. Your thoughts about that?
I thought it was great. I didn't really pay much attention to it until the papers started following Kevin,
Yeah.
and kind of made me famous.
No, you were famous already.
Well,
Okay.
I might be here because everybody felt sorry for me losing my record.
What was it about that tiny gym over there at Napa?
Well, it was just
How long
another
ago
gym.
was that tape made? Where those films come from? My goodness.
That was the 1955 state tournament
State champion. Okay.
in Willamette.
Okay.
It wasn't a very big gym.
Oh, okay. No, it wasn't very big back there. But you just had the home floor advantage each and every game you played.
They were all small when I played.
The Loggers won it all in 1955, and that must have been a great experience for you.
It was, yes. It was.
What about, oh, that's good. Did you get a ring?
No.
No, you didn't get a ring. Okay. How about your experience at Gonzaga?
I had great times at Gonzaga. We played Oregon State. Seattle U was a big top, one of the top teams in those days. And we split with them both years I was at Gonzaga. So we had competitive teams.
You kept your basketball career going because you loved the game and you loved to play. And as you grew older, you got involved with the older guys, and you put teams together with Claudia's and from the MAC Club, and most everybody in this room and around knows a little bit about all that. But give us some of the background of how that got started and what you guys did and some of the players that played with you.
Well, it got started in 1985. It was the first national AAU Masters tournament. It It was in Jacksonville, Florida. There was 3 35 and over teams, 3 45 and over teams. They had to split up the Florida team to make 4 so we could have a tournament. We won the first one. We beat Indiana, who we've been playing for the last 20 years, and they're still a good team. There's 100 teams playing now in the Masters.
Okay. And the ages are about what, Pudge?
Well, they've gone up. When like I said, when we started, 45 was the oldest.
Okay.
Now 70 is the oldest.
Wow.
We've had three teams at different ages, and I'd like. There's a lot of guys here tonight that
Go ahead.
That play on our team. I'd like them all to stand up and.
Yeah,
so people
absolutely.
can
All
see
those
them.
guys that play. Here's Leroy Ellis. How about
all
that?
over.
Look at that.
Where's it?
Guys in the back of the room.
Some of them sitting in the back of the room. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. So how much longer are you going to play? Or have you decided that that's it now?
I'm almost over.
You're almost there.
I've
What
had-
does that mean?
I've had
Almost.
7 knee operations. I think I'm going to have another one, so maybe 1 more year.
One more year.
As
And
long
then
as Leroy's playing, I'm
Leroy.
gonna play.
Leroy will play forever. I know that back there. Leroy Ellis. You want to keep right on going. Is there? Are you going to take a team out of the country in the near future? Are you going to go back to Canada or
We're
someplace like
probably going to go back to Australia
Okay.
next year.
All right.
Sydney. It's the World Masters Games. We won all but one. The one in Portland. we got beat in the championship
How
game
did that
here.
happen? You won in your
Well,
hometown.
Barry Clemens hit 10 3-pointers in the
yeah,
second
okay.
half. That's how we
I
lost.
can see Barry Clemens doing that right now. Well, it's time. You are to be congratulated for your prowess and all the things you've done for basketball. And all you and the rest of the guys have done so many things for our state. And now it's time, Pudge. Robert Pudgy Hunt. We thank you all. You are now an official member of the State of Oregon Sports Hall of Fame. He said he didn't have too much to say. Well, he said quite a bit, I thought. That was pretty good. A high school football coach for 42 years. Thousands and thousands touched by his special ways. Our next inductee, Dewey Sullivan. Oregon sports fans know Dewey Sullivan for the number he produced in 42 years as football coach at Dayton High School. 352 victories, 25 straight playoff appearances, 5 state championships. He is Oregon's winningest prep football coach and has been honored as National Coach of the Year. But to understand the true nature of the man, a beloved coach